Hello and welcome to our channel W3 Runs. Today in this project we are going to perform a rocket launching animation with the help of pure SVG animation. We are not going to use any CSS for that. So let me show you the example what we are going to build today. And today in this project we are going to create SVG rocket launch animation. We are going to using pure SVG code to create the animation. So let me show you the demonstration. If I reload my page, as you can see, a rocket rise up to the top, and also you can notice the smoke tails. And if you notice the rocket fire, you can see it's come with burning effect. So it's look like a real rocket rising up to the top. So this is what we are going to build today in this project. So without wasting your time, let's start the practical and see how we can create it. But before we start our coding, let me introduce you something. This project is part of this course, CSS and Web Animation. If you want to learn CSS, SVG, JavaScript and GSAP animation in a single course, then this course is for you. These courses come with 24 hours on-demand video, 194 downloadable resources and lifetime access. It is the new, fresh and organized course on Udemy about CSS animation. This course will come with 14 different sections. Here we are going to learn transition-based animation projects, CSS keyframe-based animation projects, JavaScript DOM-based animation projects, SVG animation projects, GSAP animation projects. Also, we are going to learn all the basic about it. It is the most complete course about CSS animation, and till today it's come with more than 60 plus projects. If you are interested to learn, I will provide the link at my description. So let's get started. So finally we are in my Visual Studio Code editor, and as you can see here I open a HTML document index.html, and I open this document using live server extension, and this is our browser where I open this document. Now at first I'm going to change the title. I'm going to change document to SVG rocket launch animation. After that I'm going to take style tag inside it. So here I'm going to type style. Inside the style tag, I'm going to style the body tag. So I'm going to select body. Body inside the curly braces. First, I'm going to define margin. I'm going to set margin 0. So I remove the margin. Then I am going to target the background color. Background, and I want to set it black. I want dark black background. Then display. Display, I want to make it flex. After that, justify content center. Also align items center, because whatever we create inside the body tag, I want to put it center of this page. That's why I use justify content and align items center. Next, I'm going to define a height. Here I'm going to define height 100 VH, and I'm going to save this file. Now whatever we create inside the body tag, it's going to align the middle of this page, vertically and horizontally. Now let's open the page side by side to make it more clear. So side by side I open my Visual Studio Code editor and my browser. Now let's take the SVG tag inside the body tag. So here I'm going to take SVG tag, SVG. And in this SVG tag, I want to assign width. Width equal to, I want 300 pixel, 300, and height equal to, I'm going to assign 400. Then also I'm going to define the view box area. So I'm type view box equal to, inside the double quotes, first we define the starting position. So from the x-axis I'm going to pass 0, from y-axis I'm going to pass 0, and for width I'm going to take 300, and for the height I'm going to take 400. So here I define the height and width and the view box area. After that, inside this SVG tag, I'm going to take a background for the SVG image. So I'm going to type a single line comment, and inside it I'm going to take a rectangle. So here I define a rectangle, and I assign rectangle with 100% and height 100%, and rectangle fill color is black. If I make it other colors such as gray and then save this file, you can see the rectangle. It places the rectangle middle of this page, vertically and horizontally. For now, I would like to go with gray color because we need to understand, because we need to identify which is our rectangle area. Next, to create the star, I'm going to take circle. I'm going to take a circle with white fill color. So here I define a circle with circle cx value 40 and cy value 50, and radius is 2 and fill color is white. If I save this file, you can notice the circle, a small dot circle. We are going to convert this circle into a star with the help of animate tag. Let me show you. So inside this circle, I am going to use the animate tag. So here I am going to use the animate tag, animate, and attribute name opacity, values 1, 0.3 and 1, duration 3 seconds, repeat count and animation repeat count indefinite, and I'm going to save this file. Now to save this file, as you can see, it starts blinking. Within 3 seconds, it reduces the opacity of this circle, and then again it back to its full opacity. At the same way, I'm going to create 2 other circle for 2 other stars. So here I'm going to define another circle with animate attribute. So this is another circle with animate attribute. As you can see, our circle X position is 200 and our CY position is 100. And we use the exact same radius and exact same fill color. And for the animate tag, we use the same values. If I save this file, you can see another star. Now, at the same way, I'm going to create the third circle for third star. So here I create the third circle at that position, and I'm going to save this file. After save this file, you can see the result. Now, after create the circles, let's move the circles in the indentation level, otherwise it's not look very great. Okay, it's fine. Next, we need to create the rocket body. For that, here I'm going to type a single line comment and I'm going to type rocket. And here we need to use group tag to group all the elements. So I'm going to type G. And I'm going to assign a ID to this group tag, ID rocket. Then inside this group tag, I'm going to add elements. And now I'm going to create the rocket structure, but I'm going to create the rocket structure outside of this frame because we need to translate it. So whenever we run the animation, we are going to translate outside from the frame, and then we launch the rocket to achieve the effect. I already have the code of this rocket. You can search for any rocket structure, SVG rocket structure in website. It will provide you multiple results. So I already have the code. So I'm going to paste it here. This React tag create the rocket body, and for the rocket nose, otherwise rocket cone, we use this polygon tag. Then for the rocket windows, we use these circles, and for the fins, we use these polygon tags. Now, if you want to see the rocket, but before, I'm going to move it inside the indentation level. Now after set this file, you cannot see the result properly because we create the rocket at that position, it outside of our frame. I do not create the rocket structure by myself. I just extract a code from an image and then I put it here. Now I want to put the rocket structure at that position. For that, I'm going to use transform property. So inside the G tag, grouping tag, I'm going to use transform translate. From x-axis, I want to move it 150, and from y-axis, I'm going to move it 300. If I save this file, you can see the result. Here you can see the result. This is our rocket cone, this is our rocket full body, this is our rocket window, and this is our rocket fins. And now, just we need to create the rocket fire. For that, I am going to use polygon tag. So here, after the fins, I'm going to type polygon, and these are my points. I'm not going to explain the points because I already teach you how we can create the polygon structure. So I have to save this file. This is our fire look like. Now we need to animate this fire. For that, we need to jump into the polygon tag, and here we need to use the property called animate. So I'm going to type animate, and I want to animate our points attribute. So I pass attribute name points, and then I'm going to change the values at different position, at different duration. and our duration is 0.3 second, and our repeat count is infinite. Also, we need to close this tag, and I'm going to save this file. After save this file, you can see the result. This is how our fire animate. Within 0.3 second, it increase and decrease the size of this polygon tag. Now it's look like a fire. After create all the structures, I'm going to make it black color. So I'm going to change the SVG field color gray to black again, and I'm going to save this file. After save this file, this is how it's look like now. Then we need to animate this rocket. We need to animate the rocket rising. So outside the group tag, here I'm going to type a single line comment, animate rocket rising. And to animate the rocket, we need to use animate transform tag. So here I'm going to use animate transform tag, animate transform. Then inside this animate transform, I'm one by one, I'm going to use the attributes. First, we need to select the tag. At first, we need to select the rocket, this rocket. For that, I'm going to use its ID name rocket. So copy its ID, and to select the to select the ID, I'm going to type xlink href equal to inside the double quotes. We need to pass the ID name of this rocket, because we are going to select this element using its ID rocket. After that, we need to pass the attribute name. So type attribute name transform, because we are going to transform this rocket from this place to another place. Then we need to define the attribute type. So I'm going to type attribute type equal to XML. After that, we need to define the type, then starting point and end point using from and to keyword. Then we need to define the duration, also fill. Our animation type is translate, and then I'm going to define the starting position of this animation. So I'm going to use the exact same position, from value 150 by 300, then to value 2 equal to inside the double quotes, and I want to rise up to 150 from x-axis and comma minus 100. So our rocket start exact from this position, and its rise y-axis direction up to minus 100. We just change the y-axis value. We do not change the x-axis value. Then I'm going to define the duration of this animation. So I'm going to type dur 6 seconds. After that, we need to pass the fill mode, fill. So here we type fill equal to freeze. So after save this file, as you can see, it start the animation. And after complete the animation, it freeze the rocket at that position outside the frame. That's why you cannot see the element again. So if I save the same file, so after save this file, as you can see, again it start the animation and our rocket rise up to minus 100 and then stop. And it complete the animation within 6 seconds. And at that section, we are going to create the smoke tails. But before I create the smoke tails, I am going to change the ID name to make the animation fail, because I need the rocket to create the smoke tails at the right position. So I save this file again. And after save this file, you can see the result. Now, to create the smoke tail, first I'm going to create a circle. So here I'm going to define our first circle, and inside this circle, now we need to manipulate the cx value, cy value and the radius value one by one using animate property. But before I'm going to save this file, so this is where we create our circle, and it is semi-transparent circle, and we need to manipulate cx value, cy value and radius value. It's already suggests me to do that. So if I type tab, it already typed code for me, and if I save it, you can see the smoke effect from this position. One by one, we animate the cx value, cy value and radius value. At the same way, I'm going to create two other circles. So here I'm going to create another circle and save this file again. Now we have total 2 circles, and there is little delay between their animation. That's why we create this beautiful smoke effect. And next we need to create another circle at that position for the left side. So I create another circle, and I'm going to save this file. After save this file, here you can see the result. you can see this beautiful smoke effect. Now if I run this animation again, let me show you. So I'm going to make it correct of its spelling and I'm going to add T. Then save this file. Now you can see the beautiful effect. If I save this file again you can see the rocket rise up and you can see the smoke tail of this rockets. So finally we achieve our result. Thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for our next project.